Greetings, my dear. Of course, there is always a place for you here in my home. Come in, come in. You just missed an old friend of mine. Some people you just can't help, no matter how hard you try. Change must come from within and whatnot. But truly, just as some of the monsters that walk among us bear human form can be more fearsome than the things we find in fiction, so too can some of life's experiences induce more suffering than we find on most pages. Oh, make no mistake, I'm not here to preach. I've most certainly enjoyed, empathized, with those who have related to me their self-induced suffering at the hands of various vices. For the aforementioned friend, it is substance abuse. Can't say I blame the poor thing, but that's a tale for another time. For now, allow me to relate to you an experience on the subject as told by an anonymous speaker. This story is called Do Try. Found the shit on my porch one night. Fucking ding-dong ditch or whatever. A little baggie with 2 blue capsules, and a stupid note with 2 words. Do try. I figured it was some shitty prank by my experimental friends from down the street. We tried nearly every reasonable drug there is, trying to get the most psychedelic trips, maintain the best highs. DMT, E, acid. Some experimental shit this dude sold me for way too much. Shit fucked me up. That trip that was dust floating down from the ceiling lasted like 8 hours. Fucked me up. Anyway, the pills had like an orange 17 on them. I looked them up online and couldn't find anything. I threw it on my dresser and crashed for the night. I called on my friends the next afternoon. They all claimed they had nothing to do with it. It wasn't them. I figured one of them would fess up eventually. Over the next week, I pretty much forgot about it. None of my friends said anything, so either they forgot or it really wasn't them. I didn't feel like mentioning it. We had some concentrated salvia, so we lit that up. The next day, curiosity killed me. I picked up the bag, glanced at the note again. Do it. I swore it said do try, but I was high when I picked it up, so I don't know. But it intrigued me even more. I examined the pill. I reasoned with myself. I just couldn't take it. It could be anything, but I was so curious. What if it was the best high, the most psychedelic trip? I talked myself out of it. I set it down again. I couldn't help but feel like I was missing out. The next few days were hell. I had a fever and I felt like literal shit. Probably strep. I slept most of the day, but I woke from the sound of my own heartbeat. My thoughts went instantly to the pill. I picked it up. It was practically calling my name. What the fuck did I have to lose? If I die, I die. I felt like dying anyway. For all I know, it could be some fucking antibiotics. I hoped for the latter. I looked at it one last time. I downed it. I remember waking up. The world was in negative. I was strapped to a chair, and these dark, pulsating lights were eating away at my vision. I had no idea what was going on, but I wasn't scared. I was used to fucked up trips, but this was different. It felt empty. Time was moving backwards. Light was inverted. These dark lamps pulsing energy through my brain. A bass tone vibrating my body. I couldn't close my eyes. I needed these lights. They were blackening the world. My world. The world where I resided and wasted time in the light. I finally understood. I was in the dark. I started seeing the figures after what seemed like an eternity. Black masses of energy crawling toward me from every angle. I was seeing them in strobe. As the dark flashed, they crept closer and closer. I recognized them as friend. They were to free me from the light, take me away from this white hell we all know so well. I wanted to go to them, but I made no attempt. I focused on the strobe. I needed them to move faster, to rid me of the luminescence, once and for all. The strobe frequency slowed. Time started to speed up. The figures were stationary. The light was coming. My corneas burned as the trip wore off. My emptiness enveloped me. The strobe was near out. The figures no longer visible. I finally closed my eyes. Such a pale dark compared to the true darkness. When I opened them, I was in bed. I shut them back immediately. I hated light. I hated our world. I wanted nothing more than to return to the chair. I couldn't live here anymore. I couldn't open my eyes. I reasoned with myself for hours to get up, to open my eyes. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't. I prayed for darkness. It meant nothing. I was in the white. The only way I knew to return to the black was the pill. I had one left, but I had to open my eyes. My luminous mind was telling me it was just a trip. Don't go back. Forget the abyss and return to normal life. The darkness was in favor. I didn't want to go back. I needed it. It was the realization the world needed, but I didn't care about the world, only the dark. Night came. I finally opened my eyes. Not to let the light in, but to get the pill. The last pill. As far as I knew, it was the last pill on Earth. My want for darkness convinced me I only needed one. The figures would take me this time. I would forsake the light for the wondrous dark. I cared not for what was in the light, as long as it was unlit. My body was weak. My eyes so adjusted to our world's pathetic darkness. I felt as though I was looking at the sun. I needed the eclipse. I grabbed the bag, and without hesitation swallowed the capsule. I would be home soon. I closed my eyes. I awoke. I was back again. Again in the chair. The dark was so comforting. Time moving the way I remembered. My frail body energized by the tones. The strobe showing me the truths. The darkness was truth. I waited for the figures. I was confident they would take me this time. Finally, they limped into view. I praised them. Every strobe showed promise that I would soon forget light. Their movements were choppy and slow, but promising. I urged them closer, watching intently between strobes for their presence. They were getting close. I could feel them. Their pulses heavy on my chest, our hearts beating in unison with strobes. They were here. The saviors had arrived. They circled me. Crippled creatures that would transform my world. They opened my eyes to the dark and closed them to the light. They held out their hands as the strobe slowed to a near stop. Everything was speeding up. I thought they took me. I closed my eyes. When I opened them, I was in complete darkness. Beautiful, astonishing darkness. Every direction, an endless abyss, void of light. This was what I had prayed for, where I belonged. I never had to see the light again. To open my eyes to anything but black was impossible. I loved it. I got up to walk around my uncontaminated world. The dark Eden. I stumbled over something. Something in the void. I felt around. This overwhelming darkness contained something familiar. My old world. the inherent risks of taking a completely unidentified drug. I suppose blindness isn't the worst that could have happened. After that experience, she may even be grateful for it. You might be surprised at just how drastically your point of view and feelings change following extreme events. Let's hope you never have to find out firsthand. But if you do, feel free to come tell me about it. Yes, come unburden yourself and let your friend really here comfort you. Now I must be going. There's work to be done here. Always, always. But be sure to come back soon. I will always make time just for you, friend.